Gun in Washington, D.C., everybody. I would say this week is going to be the biggest week for gun control since Joe Biden took office in January of 2021. Okay. All the fights that we fought last year, all of that pales in comparison to what is going to happen this week in Washington, D.C., everybody. We're going to break it down for you. The two main bills are going to push. There's hearings coming up. There's votes coming up. All of this stuff is happening this week. We're going to be in D.C. talking with members of Congress, fighting on behalf of gun owners, and we need your help to get that done, guys. Get in here. Get in the comments section. Let us know where you're checking in from. Thomas says, Salty Army is Legion. We're salty. We'll admit it. We are. Absolutely. This is the fight of our lives to protect our Second Amendment and to stop Joe Biden's push for gun control. Let us know where across the country you're watching from. I know we have members in all 50 states and probably some from outside of America who actually love freedom. Let us know where you're watching from. And we're going to break this down. Two major bills. Like we said, I'm checking in from around Minneapolis, Minnesota. That was ground zero for the looting and burning in 2020. Chris is checking in from good old Pennsylvania. Chris, what do we have going on here?
All right, folks, let's just jump right into it. We've got a lot going on. Tomorrow afternoon, we have, I think it's tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning, it might even be, H.R. 2377. This is federal red flag gun confiscation, folks. This one isn't the one that just funds the states if they want to go do it. No, this is full-blown federal gun confiscation law hearings that's happening tomorrow, and they already have a vote scheduled for that on Wednesday, the following day.
It's a full house vote, yes?
Yes, that's a full house. We're talking full house. They're going to pound this sucker out of committee tomorrow, put it on the house floor on Wednesday. We've got H.R. 7910. That's Ralph Nadler's bill. That's already been marked up. It's ready for a full House vote. We've got S. 736. The AW ban, the assault weapons ban. It bans over 200 different kinds of firearms. All this stuff, that's just the surface of it, folks. But before we get into it too far, I wanted to just back up for just a second. I don't know if anybody saw Joe Biden in his press conference the other night. I think it was Thursday night. He dodders on out there, changed into a brand new pair of Depends before he went out there. But he sat there and kept saying, what in God's name? What in God's name? He kept blaspheming the name of the Lord. And then at the end of it, to try to pretend that God is on his side, he quoted a psalm. So before we get any further in this video, I'm going to quote one of our own. It's Psalm 144. And folks, this is our prayer as we fight this culture war that we are in, this battle for the very soul and the very existence of this country. As we fight, as you and me fight together to defend the Second Amendment, this is our prayer. Psalm 144 says, "Blessed be the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle." Folks,
amen.
That's our prayer for this fight. If this fight was easy, it wouldn't be worth fighting, folks. And like Donald Trump said once before, you can know for sure how worthy the fight is when you see the opposition that is lined up against you. Folks, we have the Democrats in Washington, D.C. We have the greatest tool by the political left that they have, the fake news media. They are firing on all cylinders right now, attacking the Second Amendment. We have rhinos that are caving right and left. We have state legislatures all across the country that are rising to the call to pass gun control. Everybody is against us. Foreign media. Look around the globe. Everybody is watching what's happening right now in the United States of freaking America. Is the left going to be successful at bringing down the Second Amendment? Everybody wants to know. All eyes are on us. That's what we're talking about in tonight's show.
Absolutely. Guys, get on board. We need your help. We need your help. We know for a fact that the NRA is doing deals right now with Senate Republicans, with Mitch McConnell okay, with Lindsey Graham, with these people. They're finding a compromise gun control bill to pass. We are fighting these issues. We've always been fighting against these issues, and we need your help to get this stuff shut down. If you're not a member of the American Firearms Association, please go to www.joinafa.org. www.joinafa.org. Get on board. So again, tomorrow there's going to be a hearing in the House on HR 2377. This is Nancy Pelosi's national red flag bill. And to this day, there's never been a red flag law introduced like this in the history of Congress, okay? Every time they've introduced red flags, it has been a national funding bill to sort of tease all 50 states to pass some version of red flag laws. Some states would not do that. You know, you think of your states like South Dakota, right? They're not going to pass a red flag law. But this bill is different. This is not a funding bill. This is a straight up federal red flag bill that would apply to every American everywhere. And it will allow virtually anybody to have your firearms stolen, seized, confiscated simply because they don't like you and they made a complaint against you. You'll get your guns taken away. This is the bill that they want to pass more than anything. These hearings are happening tomorrow. AFA, we're going to be on Capitol Hill, hammering the hell out of these people, politically speaking, to shut down all of this legislation. No gun control, no deals. We don't give a damn what the NRA says or what bills they want to have passed or what Wayne LaPierre's deals are in the background. We do not care. We want these bills entirely shut down, okay? So that's HR 2377. Now, the next day is going to be the full House vote. And here's the politics of it. A lot of people talk about policy. This is what the bill does. This is why the bill's bad. But not many people know how this process actually works on Capitol Hill. We can break it down right here. The next bill is Jerry Nadler's defund or Disarm America bill. That's what this is. HR 7910. It's the Disarm America bill. It has magazine bans. It has forced government firearm lockups, meaning your guns have to be put in government-approved firearm storage locks at the end of every day. Raising the age of long gun purchases from 18 to 21. A full-blown assault weapons ban. That's every semi-automatic firearm in America. Registration of homemade firearms into the National Instant Check System, and it would reclassify bump stocks under the NFA Act so that they are legislatively outlawed versus being outlawed by executive order. Now, here's the play. Play. We've been hammering like hell on HR 7910. But here is the play. I don't believe that Democrats believe that they have a chance in hell of passing Jerry Nadler's Defund America bill. Okay? It's too extreme, and they know it. It was designed to be that way. That's why there's two bills. There's HR 7910 that does that whole litany of things. But then there's the reasonable bill. The reasonable red flag bill, HR 2377. So what we're likely going to see is Democrats putting up these gun control bills, maybe passing them both through the House. And when it goes over to the Senate, Democrats are going to be reasonable. And they're going to not try to push like Cory Booker's big bill or the Senate version of HR 7910. They're going to say, how about we compromise? Because the NRA likes red flag laws, and so does Lindsey Graham, and so does Marco Rubio, and so do all of these Republicans over here. How about we compromise and instead pass a national red flag bill? We've seen this happen in states all across the country, and that right there is our main focus.
Yep. So, folks, you see it right there across the bottom. We really do. We have seen this in a lot of different states, and it's always the same way. They have the Democrats saying we're going to push everything that we can possibly get. Let's push Nadler's bill at 7910. Let's push for 100%, and then we know what we're going to compromise on. We know what we're going to try to settle for. What we really want in business, it's called salesmanship. You sell way up here, but the target goal is right down here, and that's what they're going for the entire time. The problem is you've got Republicans who for years have been stupid enough they sit there at the end of the day when the battle is all over, when the freedoms are gone, when our rights are sitting in the ashes. They're sitting there congratulating themselves, patting themselves on the back and saying, oh, boy, didn't we do a good job. We only lost 10% of our freedoms in that battle. We're really good. Meanwhile, the Democrats are sitting there, we just got 100% of what we were going for. So, folks, we got that link right there, stopredflags.com. Again, I say this every video. I'll say it again right now. This is a link that's universal. You can share it on your Facebook pages. You can text it to your friends. It will work for them too. This is what this fight's going to boil down to. We're seeing this all over the news right now. All these Senate negotiations. And here's the other thing. They are trying, with their friends in the fake news media, they are trying to time this, as a tidal wave to drop this massive ball of pressure on Senate Republicans. They're passing 7910 through the House. They're passing the House version of red flags. They're doing this all in conjunction with their pals in the media, and they're trying to force these Senate Republicans into a box of defense when they should be going on offense, but they're trying to force them into that defense box, and they're trying to get them to feel guilty. They're trying to get them to feel like they are to blame for all of this disasters that are happening all across the country. And by doing that, they just might succeed. So, folks, if you're not a member of the American Firearms Association, I'll be there tomorrow in D.C. I know Patrick is already there on the ground, working the halls of Congress. Several of us are going to be there working Congress, Capitol Hill, for the next several days. If you're not a member with us already, please go to joinafa.org. Sign up and become a member. You get these awesome shirts right now. My rights don't end where your feelings begin. They trigger lefties like you wouldn't believe. We'll send those out with every membership, $35 or more. We need you with us. We need to force multiply this army that's fighting tooth and nail. And the best way for you to do that is to go and join up as a member of American Firearms Association today.
Well, and here's what we've already seen. Okay, so we are hammering probably harder than anybody else on all of these gun control bills, and the national leftist media is picking up on this. They're running all sorts of stories. They're talking about the American Firearms Association, and oh, look at these guys who are out there fundraising, a bunch of right-wing extremists, and they're doing their whole shtick and their whole spiel. Let me tell you, we've been in this game long enough to know that the media doesn't talk about you. The media doesn't hammer on you the way they're hammering on the American Firearms Association unless they're freaked the hell out about the pressure that's being put on Congress and the brakes that are being put on these gun control bills. Okay, so stick it to those bastards on the left and the fake news enemy of the people. It's what they are. It's what the media is.
Yes.
Stick it to them. Go to joinafa.org and become a member of the American Firearms Association today. We need you in this fight. And those that have already joined are on the front lines hammering on these gun control bills. And it's working enough right now to get these politicians and to get the media freaked out and screaming about the American Firearms Association, the pressure that we're putting on Congress. And Jay says here, I'm amazed at the rate that I'm amazed at the rate that the shootings are magically popping up. It's like, look, if they passed every gun control bill under the sun in America, crime would go through the roof and the media would never talk about it again, because to run stories on shootings and murder and crime and gangbangers and all of this stuff would be the obvious truth that their gun control doesn't work. That's why the media doesn't talk about Chicago, doesn't talk about Portland and all of these cities that are in New York City that are just blowing up with gun crimes in gun-free zones and in states where guns are outlawed. So yeah, of course, the media is running just triple time every time there's a shooting, but they don't talk about the woman. Chris, was that in North Carolina, South Carolina, was it?
North Carolina.
Guy shows up with an AR-15, starts shooting up a birthday party. Woman with a concealed carry permit, pulls a pistol out of her purse and plugs the bastard. Just plugged him. Saved
God
all
bless
those
her.
people. But the media doesn't want to talk about those things. We do, and that's why we're fighting so hard to get these gun control bills shut down. Join us. Go to www.joinafa.org. Again, so tomorrow there's going to be this big hearing on HR 2377, Nancy Pelosi's National Red Flag bill. Again, it's not a funding bill. It's a full-blown federal gun control bill. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be a likely House vote on both HR 2377 and Jerry Nadler's Disarm America bill, HR 7910. So be sure to send your pre-written emails. You can read the ticker going across the bottom of the screen to shut down red flag laws, and to do all the rest to shut down these two major gun control bills. And then while you're at it, do us a favor, share this video with your family and friends, because this is the big fight. When Joe Biden took office last year, yes, all of these gun control bills were introduced. The House quickly passed a bunch of stuff to make themselves look like they were doing something for the left. But at that time, there was virtually no Republicans at all who were willing to compromise and get on one of those gun control bills. So we got them all shut down. It's all different now. It's all different now. There's all kinds of Republicans who are talking about doing deals. We cannot sit here and go, well, we shut them down in early 2021. We shut down HR 8 when it passed through the House. We shut down the Feinstein's assault weapons ban when she introduced it. We shut down all these bills. So what's different now? The difference is that Republicans are supporting this crap, and we have to get it shut down. Shame on them. Shame on the NRA. Shame on the GOP. And if your congressman or your U.S. senator, especially if they're Republicans, if they are not standing up there screaming against this gun control and against their own traitors and their own party, then you need to be pounding on these people relentlessly. How dare you sit there and say nothing while my rights are being stripped away, while these gun control bills are being passed, while the media is pounding all of these lies? How dare you sit there and say nothing? Pound on these people.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? Welcome in here, everybody, especially those who are watching in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Thank you for being in here. Let's talk about blame for just a minute, because that's the number one thing that drives me insane when I watch what's happening in D.C. right now with all these Republicans. By default, they're acting as if we are in defense right now. But and one of the big things you're not seeing them do is lay the blame right where it freaking belongs. Okay, it's not us. It's not the gun rights crowd who refused to repeal the Gun-Free Zone Act. Okay, that should be freaking gotten rid of. It's not us. It's not the Republican conservative right all across the country that is removing God from our schools. It's not us who have taught these kids that they can that to be totally confused, that to drill this into these kids' heads that you can choose what gender you want to be. It's not us who are sitting there pumping our kids full of these psychotropic drugs that are creating these monsters. It's not us who are doing any of these things. It's the left. They are the ones to blame, 100%. Not us, not guns. But let's just get down to what it really is. This whole gun control push doesn't have a damn thing to do with kids. It doesn't have a dang thing to do with safety. It doesn't have a dang thing to do with making anybody safer. This entire push is about disarming their political opposition.
Yeah.
That's it. Hard stop, full stop. That's why you should join the American Firearms Association, because we're the only kind of people who approach this fight from that worldview. The Second Amendment in every single state constitution that has codified the right to self-defense wrote those documents as a restriction on government. Plain and simple. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Restrictions on government. Okay? These people, the whole goal here is to bring down the Second Amendment, to disarm their political opposition. That's it. That's it. And if we lose these fights, we're going to lose our country. We're going to lose our country. So,
I mean, I think we're
go
going to lose
jump
a
in
lot.
there.
I think we're going to lose a lot more than that.
You
I
damn
mean,
right we are.
look at what has happened over the last 24, 30 months. Okay? We have war going on, big wars, Ukraine, maybe Russia problems, China, all kinds of problems. There is global unrest right now, okay? We have food shortages. We have shortages of all kinds of goods and services that we've had in the past. We had lockdowns, right? Forced lockdowns in places like China. They were welding people's doors shut, welding them inside their apartments as they starved to death. Okay. We live in the most uncertain time, full of global problems that's ever existed in my lifetime, for sure.
Well, and anybody watching
we
this
have
video.
the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. These people are all meeting over in Geneva, talking about their next steps towards global domination and global economies and global control. You have Joe Biden trying to put our country back in with the United Nations, giving countries like China control or a say in our American Second Amendment rights. And you have our cities on fire, our police precincts. I live 35 minutes away from the third precinct in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that was looted and burned to the ground as the police retreated out the door, as they're being shot at, and bullets and rocks and bottles being heaved at them as they burn the police precinct to the ground. Okay, this is the world we live in right now, and these people want to take our gun rights away. They can go straight to hell. Go right to hell. You can't have our guns. You cannot have our Second Amendment rights. You will not have our 30-round magazines, our AR-15s, or anything else. You can go straight to hell. You get nothing from American gun owners. We will not pass this up because we know, we have watched enough history. We've read enough history. We know what happens to countries that lose their right to protect themselves. And America is the last true country on the face of the earth that has the right to defend themselves, the right to own big fucking guns to protect themselves, their families against thugs, tyrants, criminals. And we're not going to give those up. If you agree, please go to www.joinafa.org and become a member of this organization. All the other organizations are like a country club. Okay, they think it's fun to carry around a card. We are fighters. The members of this organization are fighters, and we are going to war, politically speaking, against the radical left to shut down this push to disarm what we consider to be the last free country on the face of the earth. So Joshua from Leesburg, Ohio, joined the American Firearms Association moments ago. Renan joined from Lorain, Ohio, moments ago. We have Kelly, who joined from Corona del Mar, California, moments ago. Thank you, Kelly. You live in quite a state over there to be supporting this organization, fighting on the national level. It's a hell of a thing. We have Chris from Louisville, Kentucky, just joined the American Firearms Association moments ago. We have Bill in Dix Hills, New York, also another state, much like Minnesota, blue as blue can be. Lisa, beautiful Lisa from Fostoria, Ohio, just joined the American Firearms Association. We have Scott from was that St. Paris, or do you say St. Paris, Ohio?
St. Paris, Ohio.
Probably.
No, we're freaking Americans, dude.
we don't talk in the French. We have Michael from Rolla, Missouri, joined the American Firearms Association. If you want to hear your name read right now, tonight, on this live broadcast before these major hearings and votes coming up this week, join up right now. We'll read your name off yet tonight. We have Michael in Stuart, Florida. Beautiful state, beautiful sunny Florida. Haven't been there in way too long. We have Gary joined up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Now there's some French for you. We have who we have a couple more here. We have Gene has joined at the $100 level from Somerville, Georgia. Thank you, Gene. And we'll do one more here right now. We have John has joined from Tacoma, Washington. Guys, get on board. Help us fight here. This is dead serious. Dead serious. This is the fight of our lives. If they pass this stuff now, I can't imagine what it would take to get it repealed, right? When Republicans get control, they didn't repeal the NFA, right? They didn't repeal Lautenberg. They didn't repeal, like, we got bump stock bans, we got fixed NICs, we got all kinds of problems when Republicans took control. So we got to stop this stuff from ever passing in the first place.
That's what pisses me off. I mean, here we are on the eve of what looks very much likely to be a Republican landslide, a tidal wave. And why in the hell are we negotiating with these freaking terrorists? You know, again, the Democrats and the media are pounding on us. Why are the Republicans even entertaining the thought of negotiating a deal with these people? I mean, in 6 months, we could control the entire thing and we can come back and do something that can actually really save lives, which is repeal the Gun-Free School Zones Act. It'd be the easiest thing to do. Arm the teachers, give qualified people some training and get them carrying firearms in there, and let the Aaron Feises of the world, when the scumbags come in the door, let them put 3 rounds into their chest and send them straight to hell. Problem solved. That's exactly what the woman did the other night in North Carolina. It's the easiest things to do. It's cheap. It's cheap. Doesn't even cost a thing. Of course, these people don't care about the cost of lives. Nothing. No, they only peddle the blood of the innocent dead to try to spin it into straw political gold for their entire agenda, which is to disarm their political opposition, which is us. I
mean, it's the very definition of, I mean, anybody who wants to disarm me wants to kill me. Anybody who wants to disarm me is an enemy.
Exactly.
I could never look at one of these people and be like, hey, you know what? We're all Americans. Here's my AR. Here's my Glock. You know, here's my 1911. Here's my SIG. Like, it's all good, bro. It's all good, bro. No, it's not. If you want to take my guns, I've never committed a crime in my life. The most I do is speed. I have to say, lead foot. But that's the most I've ever done in my entire life. I threw some walnuts at a guy who was mowing his yard about 25 years ago when I was a kid, but that is the extent of my crimes, okay? So if you want to take my guns away, you must be a full-blown enemy. A full-blown enemy. Because only enemies try to disarm their people. I swear, if Democrats loved the Second Amendment, if Democrats loved owning guns and many do, quite frankly, but if they loved them as much as right-wing Americans do, the Democrats would never talk about gun control.
Right.
Because they would never disarm their own voters. They would never do something like that. That's what this is all about. It's about a total disarmament of the American people. And that's why people like Jerry Nadler have introduced and held hearings on HR 7910. It's a bill that would totally disarm the American people. And that's their end goal.
That's called the Protect Our Kids Act or something. That's what he called it, right? That guy supports abortions up to and through the moment of birth. He's one of those left-wing nut jobs who supports abortion after birth, but yet somehow he wants to protect our kids.
It's shameful.
A mental disease.
It's a giant lie. And liberalism, as I say, is a mental disorder, and it's a spiritual disorder. I'm sorry. If you want to kill babies, if you want to tell my 6-year-old boy, my 6-year-old son, that he can actually be a girl if he wants to be. I read a post just the other day about a mom who was lamenting how her son fought so hard against taking puberty blockers, and how she had to bribe him with money and candy, and he bawled his eyes out until they finally went through with the procedure and gave him his second round of puberty blockers. These people are criminals. They're deranged criminals is what they are.
Locked up.
You should be locked up. Your kids should be taken away. That's what should happen here. Somebody needs to save our kids. And it's not from AFA members. It's not from everyday Americans. The kids don't need to be saved from us. They need to be saved from these deranged leftists. And that's why Thomas from Las Vegas, Nevada, joined the American Firearms Association. That's why we've had a whole slew of them. Mark from how do you say that? Canute? Is that how you say it, Chris? Canute, Ohio? Conneaut. I don't know. Canute.
I'll take it.
Sounds fresh.
It sounds very
from Ohio. It's a beautiful place.
Me.
We have Ronald says he's from Pennsylvania. Thank you for joining, Ronald. We have Craig joined up here from North Baltimore, Ohio. Joined tonight. Let's see. We have Ed. Where's Ed checking in from? Knoll, Rock Creek, Ohio. Ohio's coming in big tonight.
Ohio's in the house tonight, like it always is in the house. My brothers and sisters, thank you.
Here we are, another one. Herman joined from Carrollton, Ohio tonight. Nice. We have Thomas. So we already did Thomas from Las Vegas. They're coming in so fast. We have Dooley from Calcium, New York. Take your calcium, people. It's good for you. Dwight joined just a few minutes ago. Another one from Fostoria, Ohio. So you and another one of your townies have both joined tonight. Thank you, Dwight. We have a couple more here. Randy just joined at the $75 Patriot level from Renshaw, Minnesota. Minnesota coming in the house. I like that. I'm from Minnesota. We like it here in many ways, not because of our Second Amendment. We have Joshua from Leesburg, Ohio. Those are the new members that have joined. Oh, hold on. Carrie just joined from Augusta, Georgia. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight, standing with us. Again, we're going to be live over the next couple of days, maybe many times. Okay. So if we're live tomorrow, which we're going to be, you're going to want to click on that link and hop in here because it's going to be live hearings in the House. And then on Wednesday, there's going to be House votes, full House votes for these gun control bills in the United States Congress coming up this week, tomorrow and Wednesday. So I know, Chris, you're going to be in Washington, D.C. Patrick is already there. Aaron's coming in. What are we looking at there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, folks, you will be getting, it's going to probably feel like you're being inundated with content, but we're asking everybody to keep your heads in the game, to stay engaged in this fight. I mean, Ben said this is probably at the beginning of this video, he said that this is probably the biggest fight that we've had since Joe Biden got into office. This is the biggest gun control push that any of us have faced, certainly since 1994. And I was a very young kid back then. Okay. And they were successful at passing it back then, folks. The gun rights community right now is fired up. They are mobilized. They are engaged. They are taking action. I'm asking you right now, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, they're going to be they're going to leave DC on Thursday afternoon, I think. But please just stay engaged. We're going to be putting out a lot of videos. We're going to be talking with Congress members, putting those videos here for you guys. Share the videos. We're going to have emails pumping in your email boxes. Please be watching those, taking action there, sharing this stuff all over the place, forwarding the emails. That's all I'm asking right now. We're going to be putting out a lot of easy things for you guys to do, easy ways for you guys to fight back in this fight. Again, this is a political battle. We're at a political battle right now so that we don't have to go, so that America isn't cast into that same situation that so many other countries have been put into. A lot of stuff coming at us for the next couple of days.
Let's see. There was one comment I wanted to look at. Terry says, so other than calls, emails, petitions, shares, etc., how else can we help as members? If you're already a member, that's fantastic. And I would say that's what we can do right now. Calls, emails, petitions, shares. When we have hundreds of thousands of Americans doing the same thing, that's why we say we're not a club, we're an army. We're a political army. Okay? Because all of these congressional offices are being hammered by the same type of people demanding the same type of thing. I'm so-and-so. I live in your district. Take your gun control and off. Okay. And that is what we need in bigger numbers all the time. So when you are sharing the videos, when you are sharing the petition links, the pre-written email links, when you're doing those things, if you have your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friends, your buddies, your coworkers, when they are filling that stuff out and also hammering on their congressmen, their U.S. senators, that is the best thing we can possibly do. If you've already joined, if you're not a member of the American Firearms Association, join us. That's what you can do if you haven't done that already. Tonight we've had dozens of gun owners have already joined up, freedom lovers, patriots who like this style of fighting. We're very confrontational in the things that we say and the things that we do. It's the thing about lobbyists, and we've seen this in many states, we see this in DC, is there are always these slimy sort of hand wringing, sir, please, sir, if I could have a moment of your time, sir, I'd really appreciate it if you wouldn't vote for this gun control, sir, ma'am. Like
boot-licking pieces of trash.
weak trash. Okay, that's what these people are. That's why many of them become lobbyists. Well, we did that for very different reasons. We tell these people, hey, vote for this and watch what happens in the elections, okay? Like, listen to you. I better go open your email inbox. I hope you have a staffer answering the phone call because our members have been lobbying you all day, okay? And we tell them, we'll go into your districts at election time. We will tell every single gun owner what you've done. You better straighten up, fly right. It's what my mother always said.
Yes,
If
she
you're
did
being
a
naughty,
lot.
Mom would say, you better straighten up and fly right. Which actually, now that I think about it, that's the politics of it right there. You got to fly right.
Fly
Move to your
right.
right, which is probably on the left side of the screen.
Yeah,
that we're looking at
probably.
right now.
Yeah,
That's right. Fly right. That's what we tell these people, and they're usually very surprised. They're like, "Holy crap, we don't usually have."
Nice.
Nobody comes here and talks to us this way. Well, we do.
Yes.
We do, and our members do. We're not very kind to the enemies of freedom and the enemies of our republic.
Well, the reason why is simple. I mean, contract lobbyists, paid lobbyists, or if you are falafel eating, lightweight gun rights lobbyists are the other organizations that usually talk like this and they wear bow ties. And it's just like disgusting to watch.
Gross.
We know why we're fighting for our freedoms. We know what's on the line. We all have kids. We all have grandkids. We all come from families. We've got siblings that have kids. We know what we're fighting for. It's the same reason why you guys are a part of this organization. So it's got to be no holds barred. It's got to be no holds barred. Because we don't want to be put into a position like our founding fathers were, where we have to buy all this freedom back again. No. So that's why we're willing to be abrasive at times, political thugs if necessary, but never, ever are we willing to compromise on the principles that give us the courage to keep pushing forward. Not ever. Hell no, not ever. So it's just we fight for the same reasons you do. That's why we're asking you folks to join up, become a member today of the American Firearms Association. Again, Ben, you got that graphic. I absolutely love wearing this shirt in particular because something about the very nature of the shirt, the black on white, it is black and white. It's just like stark. It's good versus evil. So the message is crammed down the left throat. My rights don't end where your freaking precious snowflake feelings begin. Maybe we should get this shirt modified, Ben. I don't know. That might be a better way to read it. But folks, you'd be shocked. You'd be blown away at how many times you get a slap on the back and you'll just turn around and it'll be some big, huge bearded dude or some Gymshark wearing, lady that just got out of the gym. She's like, I love your shirt. Happens all the time. This shirt is a shirt of winners. It's total American freedom. That's what you get when you join as a member of the American Firearms Association. So please join up and become one today.
That's why Nicholas from Noonan, Georgia, just joined the American Firearms Association. Dan just joined up at the $125 level. Dan from Savage, Minnesota. God bless you, Dan. He lives not too far from me. We love you, man. And Jose just joined from Ackworth, Georgia, just joined the American Firearms Association as well. We have Kurt just joined from Gaylord, Michigan. Not a bad place. We have John just joined the American Firearms Association from Grand Junction, Iowa, our home state. That's a beautiful place. We have Suzanne. I know Sue. She just joined from Pelican Rapids, Minnesota. I saw your name, Sue. We love you. She's a great woman.
Hello, Sue.
Yeah, she spoke at our Minnesota gun rights rally a while back. She spoke at our gun rights rally. It's good stuff. We have Paul from Hinesville, Georgia, joined the American Firearms Association as well. We have Richard
Hinesville
joined from, I don't know where that's at.
I do. I did work on the military base down there years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Richard from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Thank you for joining, Rich. We have some family not too far from there. It's good stuff. The list goes on and on and on, you guys. Thank you so much for joining with us. Chris, I think we should wrap this right now. Again, we're going to have some videos for you live from Congress, from Washington, D.C. Chris is going to be there. A whole bunch of us are going to be on the ground there talking with congressmen and hammering on these people. Herman says, why join AFA? Because it costs money to do things. And these guys can't pay for things out of their own pockets. And they're fighting for us, so join. I tell you what, if I was Michael Bloomberg, I wouldn't be on here asking you guys to donate or contribute to the American Firearms Association. The left has most of the billionaires in their pockets, or rather, the billionaires have the left in their pockets, depending on how you look at things.
Exactly.
And if we had some
hiring ballot harvester,
it's true. It's not even a lie.
Before we wrap up here, Ben, I just have to ask everybody one question, and I really want you to give me an answer in the comment section. If I run into David Hogg tomorrow in the halls of Congress, because I know he's there. You guys know who little skinny biceps David is? He's that little piece of trash, America hating leftist little trash ball who wants to disarm America. If I see him there tomorrow, what do you want me to tell him? Huh? I'm going to read these comments because honestly, this is usually some gold mine level stuff. So let me know what you want me to tell Tiny David Hogg, and if I see him in the halls tomorrow. Of course, they're going to be out there in front of the Capitol. They'll have their pressers going. They'll have their little rented Bloomberg funded, speakers set up and all that different kind of jazz. I mean, he said he's there all week. What do you want me to tell him? What do you want me to tell him? Make him cry like the little girl he is. He cries at the thought of freedom, so he's already a crier.
And it's hard to respect somebody who's a full-grown adult who has biceps smaller than my 6-year-old. It's not even a joke.
I'm thinking there was some growth hormone stuff or gender therapy.
He probably got some puberty blockers back in the old days.
That's the word I was looking for, puberty blockers.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah.
And Chris, whatever happens, you'll likely catch it on video anyway. So
absolutely.
If you guys have the best comment or the best thing to say to him, you may possibly see this go down on camera.
Yes. So, Scott Johnson says, ask him how the pillow business is going. Chris Coleman, Chris, that presumes that he's got one. Come on. We got to think ahead. But anyway, folks, like I said, big day on Capitol Hill tomorrow. We're going to be there. Team AFA is going to be there. Ohio Gun Owners, Pennsylvania Firearms Association, Iowa Gun Owners, Minnesota Gun Rights, Georgia Gun Owners, North Carolina Firearms Coalition, all these different MOFs, Missouri is going to be represented. All these state level gun rights organizations are going to be represented there tomorrow. We're going to be doing battle with the left. We're asking you folks to be engaged with us as we fight all week against this gun control stuff. Take action, join AFA, become a member, and you can go to stopredflags.com to be firing off your emails against this bullshit. What else, Ben?
I think that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up here. We'll be live again tomorrow, maybe a couple of times. Tune in then. Share this video with your family and friends, and we'll talk to you soon.